Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today is the Noteys! It's the Noteys, everyone! The greatest... Hooray! It's the greatest award show for tabletop role-playing games that you all need. Hey, wait a second. What about the actual tabletop awards, hosted by that other website? They're wrong. Bratty Toaster is Diaz. Good job, everyone. So, a couple things that we need to address beforehand. First things first. Notepad, why are you streaming and why is this not a video? Well, two reasons. One, I I thought it was I thought I had about another week. I had another week and a half, maybe. I genuinely did not realize it was the end of December already. I thought I was having a little bit of a stroke for a bit when someone told me, "Hey, by the way, it's Christmas time." And because it's Christmas, yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh no, I need to get a video out. And oh no, I don't have time. So multiple things kind of happened there. The second reason why we're doing a stream today is because I want to try a new format out, which is the priority. You make that call, everyone. Comes at a different day every year. Exactly, audience members. Now, as you can see here, we are all set up. We are ready to go. We're only going to do a handful of awards this year because, genuinely speaking, I didn't go over that many games. So, what I'm going to do for those watching at home is that I am going to be segmenting this off. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a detox of the year here. Going to be talking a little bit about what happened this year, what's going on, what's happening. Then we're going to be going into the award show. If you're watching at home, if you're watching on YouTube, all of the timestamps are down below. Let me increase my audio here a little bit. All of the timestamps will be below. And those timestamps will end up telling you what to do here. This is going to be marked as the introduction, just to make sure everyone knows what's going on. But yes, welcome to the Noteys, the only award show that really matters. So, kind of as our first detox of the year, a little bit. Let me get rid of that here a little bit. Yeah, don't you worry, everybody. You think I know what I'm doing? Good joke. So, if we look at the kind of the year in review a little bit, we did pretty okay this year. If we look at detoxes and little opinions, this is the little opinion playlist. Obviously, the fifth season has hit the internet. We go all the way down to 2025. Yeah, we started this year with everyday heroes. Yes, everyday heroes, and as you can kind of see, we didn't really have a lot of showcase streams. We didn't have a lot of showcase videos. What do I mean by showcase videos? If we go down to season 4, there's a couple of videos that were very much a showcase, like something big, something impressive. You got your Songs of Swords, you got these ones. Of course, that we also had the videos. You had the Geniverse video, which was a really long, huge video. You had the Dungeons and Dragons video. And there was a lot of different games here that were segmented off, and they were all kind of doing their own thing. You kind of even see, like, some games were a bit bigger, but some were a lot smaller. No showcase videos this week. So why didn't we do a lot of showcase videos? Really, because we didn't go over that many showcase worthy games, if that makes sense. Nothing really huge came out. And the only ones that did were the D&D killers, which we'll be talking about today actually a little bit. If we go all the way up here, you see some of the Japanese RPGs, the Y2K Jam, Not too many. Again, here's kind of our big set of streams that we did. The Draw Steel, the D&D killer streams. A lot of those kind of games that we did. And I think those are interesting in their own right. We need to obviously publish everything. We need to get the Warhammer case out. Why is that not here? Because it's not done yet. I need to upload everything there, but it's just kind of the way it is. If we were to look at our detox videos, generally we did a lot more detoxes this year than I was kind of planning on. We have Neurobeat, obviously, which did really well. Rumble Hearts, all the way up to Broken Crucible. This might mean we are severely far behind on a lot of things, and yes, I know we're behind on things. Detoxes are really easy and very complicated at the same time to do because I just have to talk about games that I've written. We did do a few design thunks this year. Not too many design thunks, though. The man who stares at games. As you can kind of see here, our big threes, we did the Paladin's case, we did the Monster Hunter now with Dice, and the Impossible Dream. Really nothing big there, but we also had nothing huge to talk about either. Yeah, 2025 was kind of a dull year in that regard. Nothing really big to muse about. Nothing really big that I wanted to talk about. Rather than with some of these other games that I think demanded more attention. We did go through the making of. We did get, I believe, we did get 4 making of videos. People seem to really enjoy the series, and I'm happy about that. Making of does take a little bit longer to make than other games. I'm thinking about changing how I approach them. What do I mean by that? Mostly, I'm thinking about making it a lot more casual. I'm thinking about making it a lot more casual, a lot more, arguably even uploading streams of it rather than just making straight videos. But the content would be roughly the same. Same idea, same concept. I think it's kind of a back and forth of how I want to approach and how I want to organize each episode. The original one was much harder to make than these ones. These ones are just a lot slower to make because it's like, okay, normally something that would take me 10 minutes to do that I can kind of think of internally or I can do away, I'm now having to explain all of the hundreds of different options that go into it and then summarize one. It's a little bit different. The way to approach it's very different. But people seem to be liking it, and that's all I can really hope for with that. Generally, do we have any one-offs this year? I don't think we really had any one-off. Again, here's again, Noteys 2022. You can tell these are pretty old. These are the old ones. Yeah, okay, so a few updates here. So we're going to look right here with Cruciform. So, good news on Cruciform. We are making progress. We are making a lot more progress than I was initially thinking that we would. Last night, again, if you popped in last night, you saw me working on a lot of these. We finished all of the natural miracles. Swords is still a little bit weird. Transmutation obviously got its time in the sun. What we need to do is now we need to do the vampires and Therians. But once they're done, miracles are done, and therefore we can upload them into the DOS new version, which has had some significant changes. And once they're all done, once pretty much all of this is finished, probably I'll put it out there as the newest version to see how it tests and how it plays. But it's really kind of this year, I was like, I'm going to work on Cruciform. I'm going to finish Cruciform. And I got stuck on things. I got repeatedly just hung up on aspects. It took me a while to kind of accept the fact that I need to change things. It took me a while to say, I need to do X, do Y, do Z, and throw my face at it. But I am happy with it, if that makes sense. I'm happy that it has been finished. We have worked on it, and we are now in a place where the ending is within sight rather than I'm kind of running blind. I know where an ending can be, and that feels very good. Cruci year. There's more Christmas, how oddly fitting. 1v1's Notepad, pretty much. Game design got hands. Welcome to being live. We're live. Let's turn that on real fast. Hello. Yeah, Cruciform was PvPing me in that regard, mostly due to, how do I want to word it? Every single time there was an option, there was about 6 different routes, and no route was correct, because it would be, okay, if I do this, then I have to change X, Y, and Z. If I do this, I have to change A, B, C. There were a lot of options which were, if I change this, I have to redo huge chunks of the system. If I do this, I need to rewrite large sections of the game. And I got scared. I won't lie, I got scared. I was like, oh no, if I have to rewrite all of this, this is going to be a complicated, unfun endeavor. Luckily, I think I'm a lot more confident with it. The choices I did make were, I think, in the correct angle, in the correct direction. Obviously, we'll need some testing, but I did listen to the tests we did run, and hopefully everything works well. I also told everyone who was attempting to help poorly. No. I have realized that consulting people on projects is wrong. Talking to anyone about anything is incorrect. And the only person I should listen to is the voices in my head, because they're the only ones I can trust. And the reason for that was I was having trouble writing Miracle. I'm going to explain this. I'm going to explain what I was getting annoyed about. The original version of Miracles was not very good. It was a very divorced mechanic. I want to say I don't know how to write this correctly. The suggestions I received from people was, I don't like the game, so I can't help. But it's wrong. Get rid of everything. Change the name of everything. Get rid of everything again. Change it entirely to a Mother May I Beg the GM system. Make it a spell book like D&D. And my personal favorite, what's Cruciform? That was that was the experience of, I need to know how to write this better. And it was not great. What is Cruciform? Yeah, that hurt a little bit more than anything. At least my suggestion works. Yes, exactly. That was my life. Oh, I bashed my mic. That was my life with Cruciform there. Overall, we're doing good. Oris, don't talk about getting shit done. You're the last person to do it. Like, all right. Now, what did we actually... Oh, I don't want to do that. What did we actually work on this year? What games did we finish? So here we go. Borzoi, obviously. Borzoi is in a rough state. We need to fix Borzoi some more. I'm thinking about changing where it's set as help with that. Let's see, we did Bridge Commander, obviously. Bridge Commander is a game that physically does not exist in any other plane of reality other than Bridge Commander. And I genuinely do not know how to make it better because I am the first and only human being alive to ever attempt this. So, Broken Crucible did pretty okay. Again, Detox came out. We didn't do it this year. We did it last year, but Broken Crucible is better now. It is in a slightly better state, not a fully updated version. I kind of talk about that. Let's see. Cruciform, obviously. Let's see. Errant Earth. So, let's talk about Errant Earth. Errant Earth is a funny game. This was game 100. Yes, the Notepad add-on's 100th game. Hey, Notepad, can I watch the streams for Errant Earth? No, you cannot. I mistook me already uploading them. I thought I had already uploaded those videos on the second channel. I did not. And because of this, all of the Errant Earth streams have been lost. I think we did about 10. So this is for a lot of people, if you're still watching from home, this is probably your first time seeing Errant Earth. But probably everyone in my server heard me talk about Errant Earth and will never stop hearing me talk about it. This is Notepad add-ons Riffs. It's Riffs 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yes, we did write the whole thing. It is not my longest game, but my longest game with no expansions, if that makes sense. This longest pure game. Blood, Coin, and Steel will always be the longest because it is just a dozen expansion books all linked onto each other. In total, it is 82,000 words. Yes, 82,000 words. We do have some more things. It is 214 pages long. It is a combination of everything that I would want in a game that I wrote. It is a gigantic shit show, and it works. Because it's D2000, and D2000 has been tested and confirmed to work. I will fight people on this no matter what. There is a lot here. I'm not going to lie about that. Is everything flawless in it? No, but this is also a super huge, massive project with many, many different moving parts to it. And when you have a lot of moving parts, things can go wrong very quickly for it. But genuinely speaking, everything is working pretty well here. You can play a lot of different things. Actually did add some more things over here, but those haven't made it into the main book yet, nor do I think they will. Notepad lost media. Yeah, effectively. Make a setting book for Borzoi. Let's see. Yeah, lost media, only PDF wasn't socially viewable Google Docs. Yeah, you can't open the Google Docs on your phone. It is a massive, stupid, huge nightmare thing. There is a PDF available, but Errant Earth is huge. It is one of my magnum opuses, but there will be more, of course, because yes. This also means that Metal Savior will get its 4th update eventually. Metal Savior's 4th update will be bringing it in line with the current D2000 system as proposed here on Errant Earth. Yeah, this was made at 9 in the morning in August, just to give you an idea. That's kind of the goal here with Errant Earth, is that I want to bring a lot of little games like that in there. And if we ever choose to make more Errant Earth or D2000 products, it will fall in line with Errant Earth in terms of how it is made and how it is run. So, yes, Errant Earth turned out exceedingly well, and I'm very happy with it. Let's see if we're going down more. Ludus Maximus. Ludus Maximus also turned out weirdly good. Generally, it's an expansion to Theros that I am proud about. I am happy with it. We probably need some more work on it to make it exactly the way I want. Because again, it is one of those, how do I also want to word this? Ludus Maximus alongside Bridge Commander were games that do not exist, so I was trying to work with something that fundamentally does not work that way. Let's see. Just on Demon Slayer Corporation did get its update. Very proud of Demon Slayer Corporation. Works fairly well. I'm happy with all the changes that I did do with it. Let's see. We've got some... Give me some of that. Trundlewood. Trundlewood turned out way better than I intended. Trundlewood did turn out way better than I intended. I would most likely need to do some tweaking with it, but a lot of Trundlewood turned out very happy, and I am very proud of everything that Trundlewood turned out to be. Kind of one of those things where I just had a moment where things worked out really well with Trundlewood, so everything else kind of fell into place really easily with it. And I'm proud of that. It's 96 pages. It's not a small game. But a lot of those turned out to be... Every page in this turned out to be a good page. There's very few things I'm not happy of here. My wounds wish to create an iron dagger. No. Probably if I were to ever expand anything, it would be the crafting system, because the crafting system is kind of... But yeah, a lot of this game turned out weirdly good. Probably some tweaks and fixes to make it good. To give you an idea, we're not going to be reduxing Trundlewood Fortress for a while. Let's just say that. Because it's in a very good place, relatively speaking. If we are going to redux Trundlewood, it is someone has played it and has pointed out issues that they would like fixed, if that makes sense. Let's see if we go down here. Danmaku Sphere of Rhapsody Accelerate got an update. It is good. I am happy with it. It is a lot better than the old version. Of course, we also have the correct introduction, and we have the fake opening. We have the fake cover and the real cover. Yes, that is a Tuhu girl I drew myself, I'll have you know, and I spent a lot of time making this cover. I'm not very good at artwork, if you can't tell. But yeah, a lot of this game works a lot better. Kind of happy how it turned out. Still a very weird game, but it's good on my front. I was also very happy that Momiji, actually, our Kakashi Spirit News reporter, put out some things to help people have some adventures and stuff planned. Let's see. We're currently working on Soul Survivors X, so that'll be an update there. It's going well. How the four answer, yeah, pretty much. If you would like to do that, Cole, yes, if you would like to. Soul Survivors X is getting worked on. I wanted to get it done by the end of the year. It probably won't get done by the end of the year, but if we really grind it out today and tomorrow, even though tomorrow will be very late, it will be working pretty well in that regard. Arknights was last year, went pretty well. Let's see. Believe we did Cardboard Hustle this year. Did we do Cardboard Hustle this year? I believe so. Welcome to Invoker. Yes. Cardboard Hustle was the this is a card game. No, it's TRPG based on a card game. Which card game? You'll be making that as well. So to give you an example, we made a TRPG based on a children's card game that we wrote. Welcome to the official rulebook of learning how to play Invoker, a card game, which does work, by the way. I want this to be known always. Invoker works. And you can, in fact, play it. To give you an idea, it is the horrible combination of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's pretty much Yu-Gi-Oh!, a little bit of Magic, and the One Piece RPG, and One Piece TCG, though I would say I borrowed more from the Gundam TCG in that front. Some of the wording with it, I borrowed a lot more with that. So if you want to play that, card back I made very sad. I did use the card back. It's in the cards, not on the document. More fortissimo. Yeah, don't forget that it's a card game. To give you an idea of the 90 level play of what Cardboard Hustle is, it is a tabletop role-playing game based on an anime, based on a card game that doesn't exist. Multi-level drifting, and I think I gave someone a stroke going over it. I think someone is dead because I wrote it. I don't know how, I don't know where, it just did. D3, Divine Dream Drift. This is, we'll call it the Tokyo Tussle. D3 turned out well. It was more of a... I think D3 turned out okay. I think it's just because the game itself has its limited way of looking at it. I feel like there are things I'm missing. There's things that I could do better with it. I was like trying to fix things in different ways. It's... D3 is going to be part of the Tokyo Troubles, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's see, I believe we did Panic in Duong. It's a JoJo RPG, did really well. We did City on the Hill. What's City on the Hill? We're gonna call this A Very Complicated Existence. And the very complicated existence of City on the Hill is a very bad pitch and strangely, yeah, right here. I think this is a very Notepad got burnt out near the end. I'm not going to lie when I say I got burnt out, because this is very much a stuff game, and by a stuff game, it is, okay, now write 5,000 this. Okay, now write 10,000 these things. And you kind of even see like just the number of charts available. Good news, if I'm happy about things, if I'm pleased about something, it is... I am pleased to know that this still functions the way I want it to. The fact that you can write up any of these things is nice and easy to know. Hey everyone, why are elves up there? If you want, what kind of elves do you want? Here's all of your elves and how they view things. What kind of dwarves do you want? This is all my dwarves. What kind of orcs do you want? These are all of my orcs. I think they turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with how it works. If City on the Hill is going to be anything, I might quite literally, by the way, copy and paste this and these charts anyway and put them into a different document. And that different document will be, how do I want to word that? That document will be creating a fantasy setting in 5 easy steps kind of thing. It's going to be like, how do you write this out? uh, to give you an idea of how this functions, let's make an orc, everyone. Let's make orcs, because orcs are fun. So I'm gonna roll got my D2 here, otherwise known as a D6. I rolled a 2, so 1 plus 1. We have 2 orcs. And I'm gonna roll my D10 now. 3 hobgoblins. A new kingdom, and they are noble. So we look at what are hobgoblins? Wiry, quick-witted, thrive on scavenging, and often goblin orcs are larger and wiser than their feral kin, with different tones and skin colors. Great, okay. And they forged a new kingdom. What does that mean? Oh, look, recently united under a visionary leader. Wow, let's make another orc. Wow, green men who are nomadic and also noble. Everyone's really nice here. Green men. Yep, it's an orc, and they're nomadic. There you go. There's your orcs. This chart is actually very much inspired by the D&D 2nd Edition Monster Manual and World Builder's Guide. Very interesting thing there. Really, the biggest problem came down to some of the systems and a lot of, like, the concepts behind it. It's a thick game, don't get me wrong. This game's 119 pages. Like, this is a big-ass game. I just got burnt out by it because there's a 5 million charts. And, yeah, that's it, yes. And when you have 5 billion charts, you end up getting burnt out very quickly on them. Let's see. We didn't do any Dewongs this year. I'm a little sad about no Dewongs. We did formalize ERPs, JRSD. We did formalize all of these. New SRDs were made, were corrected. Of course, we also have our we also added this, whereas X game, a lot of games did get put in the shed. We look at the things Notepad Anon wants to do. If we go to the fix bin, these are all the games that have been removed from the website. Why are they no longer on the website? They're very old. They are very old. They haven't been updated really for a few years at this point. And they aren't as good as I would want them to be. Mostly these are mine. None of them are commissions or anything like that. Though I have been said, like, hey, maybe you should remove some of the commissions and such. Kind of a back and forth there. Of course, we did contact some people to give me things. No one has gotten back to me on that. So please, anyone, I'm always available. So good year all around. Good year all around. Oh, there we go. Nope, keep presenting. There we go. Good year all around, relatively speaking. A lot of work done. Hell, in update time. Notepad is the only man Notey enough to give himself a Notey. Yeah. Midnight Anima does need that. Besides line combat, if we do change line combat, it will be advanced line combat. That's really it. So let's do a quick double check. Did you gen the art? Yes, we gen the art. Is that the document for your Yaziba hack? So let's do a quick thing to address. So Japan, what happened there? Yes, for 4 months from July to technically mid-November, I was in Japan. I lived in Japan for about 4 months, and I was going to kill myself if I stayed there any longer. So what happened? I thought about making this a video. I was going to call this the white video and explain everything, but I think this is a pretty good format for it. We got some people here, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask as always. So Japan. I went with a company called Nova. They were the guys who brought me over. And it was going okay. Very sketchy, if that makes sense. Very, very sketchy on multiple fronts, if that makes sense. And you don't realize when you go to Japan for the first time that you don't realize when you go to Japan for the first time that everything you do in Japan is prefaced by you are a foreigner and no one likes you. People talk about like, oh, foreigners aren't really like that. They do really undersell it. I think that was an aspect of it, and it was unfortunate because I was not the correct foreigner. I was not the handsome white boy getting it down, as one might say. I was I am the ugly American, and people did not want to meet me halfway on certain things. But I think a lot of people underwent that. But kind of what happened there. So first things first, let's talk about my situation there. When I got there, I did not have an address. Obviously, I was told, "Oh, hey, you will be getting your address soon." It was a week of training, which was a mess, by the way, in multiple fronts because it was mid July and therefore it was about a 150 million degrees. My younger brother was banging chicks every night over there. Was he working? That's the question. Was he working? Most of the time, what it was that first week of training, they had to sign a new contract. That is like the big thing is that I went there, I signed a contract. When I went there, they made me sign a new contract, and within about 3 weeks of landing, there was a third contract. Lots of different contracts, and they were all different, mind you. One looked the same, but one was different. It was a lot of little things like that. A third contract has hit the American, yes. So we've got our 3 contracts. And I think the best way to think about it is my only point of contact, my only real point of contact with another human being in Japan was my manager. And I'm not going to name him. I won't say anything there, but we'll simply refer to him as my manager. My manager was, and I'm going to say this as nicely as possible, dumb as a fucking brick. Like, absolute, like, sub 10 IQ at points. Actually, that's not fair. He was stupid in a manager san or manager kun. Manager, because he was a dude from Florida. The thing is, he was, to put it nicely, he was, his knees were injured from sucking so much cock. Like, just on his knees sucking corporate cock. It would be weird moments where he would, like, rattle off, like, corporate slang and, like, corporate, like, bylines. And and what I mean by that is, oh, well, we believe here that X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, that's not. And you would have a lot of moments where things would just not. There would be a complete dissonance on many things. And that complete dissonance would be like, oh, hey, all of the children want to be here. They love learning. They select to be here. when you have multiple children who want to go to sleep, and them actually just telling people, I hate being here, my mom makes me come here. Uh, yeah, when you get a lot of that, it's like, okay, you're just lying to me now. And there were other points where it was like, oh, hey, your medical card. Oh, as long as you have your Japanese social security number, effectively, you're under medical care. I was not actually, and it was a nightmare looking at that. Oh God, a lot of that. But I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. There's only so much you can do. But it was like repeated things that just ground you down. And it's like, oh, well, we don't have people coming to the office because nobody wants to. Now, here's the thing. Let's play a game, everyone. Nobody wants to book lessons, and if you look at legitimately every other branch, and if you talk to other people, hey, we're down horribly. Yeah, we were down horribly, and nobody's booking any lessons. And then your manager looks you and say, well, people don't want to book lessons because of you. Yeah, no, it's not really reinforcing. He was a very bad manager because it was not a lot of let's see what we can do to fix this. It was do better, and why aren't you doing better? And that's just like a lot of what that was. Why aren't you doing better for this? He was a manager in Name. He no, it was he was willing to work corporate. That is a big thing because the best way to I'm on Miro, so I'm on Miro, so I can do this to understand kind of the hierarchy here a little bit. At the bottom here, you had teachers, or legally speaking, we were not referred to as teachers because we weren't legal teachers. Being a teacher in Japan requires actual licensing and degrees. We were instructors. Above us, there was technically what we would call our manager. He managed all of us. But the secret was he didn't. He had his boss, which was, I believe they were called like an IM. Now, the secret with the IM is that this person was Japanese. Now, this is where you have what I can best describe as the second layer of the company. So, we are the first layer. We are the point of contact. Everyone above here, and there were multiple levels above here, up here, we had no contact with. I knew her, but we didn't really know her. We knew her name, and her name was Aya. That's all I knew her name was. I did not know her last name. I did not know her family name. I genuinely didn't know that she could speak English for the longest time. I thought I thought my manager was her manager for the longest time because she was just not supposed to be there, if that makes sense. Anything above here, we instructors did not see, we did not interact with. Effectively imagine all of like that corporate business information being filtered down to the manager, but the manager wants to suck upwards. He is loyal to these guys. He's loyal to the Japanese company, not the teachers, quote unquote. He doesn't give a shit about us. We are cannon fodder. And that was kind of like that. It was very hostile management. I heard from multiple people that he was looking to go up. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go up the ladder, and the only way to do that is get on your knees and suck some cock. Really, that nobody wanted to do that particular job for this company because they suck. And it was like a known fact that a lot of places were in the red. And my manager would do goofy little things like accidentally reveal that everyone is in the red, or just blatantly tell me one thing and then like go into it, because I would talk to him normally. I think when his guard was down a little bit, we were talking about like it was a marketing thing for like a marketing campaign. And it was funny because the way he would say things is like, well, we can't really target kids. Kids don't really want to show up. No one really shows up to our big open houses. This guy isn't really good. How do we market this? We don't know. But then, like, immediately after, he would be like, kids love coming to us. They are so excited to do this. And it's so wonderful. So great. Like, that's that disconnect. That's like a constant disconnect from everything you do. And I really wish I could say like, ah, yes, it was really easy to understand, and people were good and wonderful and all that shit. It really wasn't. There was a lot of that, and picture that for 4 months. It's the longest year. That was the big thing. It was a lot of people not saying much. And there was other things. They put me in a little tiny apartment. To give you an idea, the living room that you are here, where I was, my living room I'm currently in is about the size of my full apartment. They did not tell me that I would be living above a barbecue restaurant. Nor did they tell me it would be an hour away by train to one of my offices, even though that broke the contract technically. Yeah, it was a lot of shadier things, and I think the big thing I want to get across, here, is I was unlucky. How many contract violations happened? I would say probably 3, but it was, it was a lot of interpretation, and it was, legally speaking, our contract has to say X, Y, and Z. Technically speaking, we are going to enforce a more draconian policy on it. That was like the thing with my hair, for example. People remember the hair arc, because I used to have very long hair, and I still do have pretty long hair. It's growing out, it's growing back out, but I affect, like, in the contract it was you can have long hair, and it was every step of the way it was no, you can't. And I cut it down to where they said no, it's not that. They effectively said get a Japanese haircut. That was the only way that anyone was going to allow anything there. And it was just like, this isn't the contract. And I showed him the contract, and he's like, no, doesn't matter. And I had people agree with me that, yeah, that's what the contract says. Didn't matter. It was a lot of things like that. There is the real contract, and then there is the unspoken contract that everyone must obey or you get fired. And that was my point of contact. My apartment was through the company. My life was through the company, and I was being paid effectively minimum wage, below minimum wage. In American dollars, I was being paid about $6.50 an hour for work that I hated doing, and everyone apparently hated working with me. Like, all my coworkers liked me, but the students, who would never say anything, mind you, they would apparently it's a lot of backhanded talks. A lot of I think that's the biggest way to think about it, is that it is a lot of unspoken things. And again, as I was kind of saying, I was unlucky in Japan. I really was. I wasn't in Tokyo. I was an hour and a half away by train to Tokyo, or anything big. I was in a small city outside of Tokyo. I was in a commuter city, and there was nothing to do. But I worked 10 to 10. I got up at 8 a.m. minimum every day. I had to rush to the train station. I would get on the train. I would go to my job. I would then work it, and then I would get home probably about 10:30 if I was lucky. It's just a lot of unspoken social rules that you're an asshole if you brag. Here's the thing: when it comes to like the unspoken rules of like Japan or anything like that, you might watch like videos and stuff of like, oh, well, don't do this, this, and this. It's impolite or it's rude. People do it all the fucking time. People will break those social taboos that they have supposedly put on themselves. But handsome gaijin can get away with it. Unhandsome gaijin are breaking our sacred social taboos that you are not allowed to break. He looks fine, it's fine. That's a big thing. It is a rule for me, not for thee kind of thing. That's a very large thing there. Yeah, the uncharismatic gaijin are offending the mandate of heaven. Yeah, effectively, it's like you don't look correct. Therefore, I had a coworker who was African American, and he had a hell of a time. I had pretty much if you did not look right or you were Ultra Women Code Society. To a degree, like there's aspects of that. It's a very very strict society, and there's other little things you don't realize if you move there. So I'm going to explain to you how to get a bank account in Japan. Okay, everyone, we're going to explain how to get a bank account. First, you have to have an address, a real address. Now, you might be thinking, Notepad, how do I get an address without a bank account? Well, that's the funny thing. You don't. Unless you go to one of the gaijin-friendly apartment rental complex places. If you do that, you'll get extorted, mind you. Your prices are going to be insane, but you'll get an apartment. But once you have gotten your apartment, or you stay 2 weeks at a nice hotel, not a shitty hotel, a nice hotel. Once you have gotten that, they will send, you have to log on and go online and request that they send you information. Is it in English? Is it in any other language? No, it is in Japanese. And if you dare request for anything to be in your native language, no. Even the native, even like the English-friendly websites are all MTL. They're all machine translated. That's a big thing. Most everything is machine translated, and it's machine translated poorly. Once you have gotten through all of that, you will then wait, because they need to send you a letter, a physical letter to your address. This letter might take 2-3 days. It might be a week and a half. Once they send you the letter, because for me it was a week and a half, once they've sent you that, they will give you the option now to open the account, to confirm everything on the account. And once you have confirmed everything, you will wait another week and a half, 2 to 3, 3 to a week and a half days to receive kind of any information about your account, like an account number or a login information. I went through Japan Post. To give you an idea of what it was, to log into your Japan Post account, you needed to have your customer ID number, which was a string of 15 numbers given to you via mail, mind you. This is all mail. This is no email or anything like that. It's mail, like physical mail in your... you needed your password, and that was how you got in. Okay, great, cool, I'm in now. Well, 90% of the features of Japan Post are not available to you until you download the app. Once you download the app, you need to verify your identity. So I just put in like my card number or something? No, you take a picture of yourself, you put in all your card information, and then, once that's all done, you then have the right to use a majority of your bank account. It is a taxing experience to get anything done. Oh, do you want a debit card? No, you don't get a debit card unless you request things and go through more, thing. They have to visually do things. And now, mind you, this is a process done for everything. You want your Japanese SSN, get ready to wait for about 3 weeks if you do everything right. And if they choose to do things, and you'll most likely have to go to the office in which they will double check everything to make sure that it works properly. They do not speak English, and no one there will speak English. If you're lucky and go to a big city like Tokyo, maybe, but if you live literally anywhere else, no, they will not have someone who speaks English. So they will use a little device to effectively poorly translate it. So that's fun. But now imagine that for everything. You want your residence card? That's a thing. Yes, we're still talking about. Yeah, we're still talking about this. We are. It's a lot of little things. I want to explain like why I came back and why it went so bad. It went so bad because I wasn't planning for it. I wasn't ready for it, and it kicked my ass. Uh, I was drinking a lot more. I was very unhealthy, and I was going to kill myself eventually. Yeah, it was, yeah. It's, it's great. But, yeah, that's kind of the summary. Yeah, because you were working for a black company. Yeah, I was working for a working. It was a black company. I rolled poorly, if that makes sense. When I mean my I rolled poorly is I didn't. Multiple things went wrong. Let's just say that multiple things went wrong, and when multiple things go wrong, obviously, uh, it is the responsibility of those to I could do nothing and make more money than most Indians. Yes. If you do go to live there, make sure you get paid in American dollars and not the fucking toilet paper that is Japanese yen. Do you think jet would have been better? I don't know. I don't know. But we are 30 seconds out, everyone. Okay, everyone. Final 20 seconds. Hello, hello. My cat hobby signed up for Twitch just to say the stream. Sorry, Japan didn't work out. Yeah, don't worry. Here I am. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Kalukale. Uh, let's see. You're in India. So let's see. So we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 hour mark. All right, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Notey Awards. Yes, we're back. We're going to be doing the Notey Awards, everyone. Now it's done. All of our problems are behind us, and now, wait, this was the pre-show. Yes, of course it was the pre-show. This is the real show, everyone. So, Notey Awards 2025 was a little bit weird. 2025 was pretty damn weird. Why was it so weird, though? We didn't really have a lot of big, impressive releases. I think that's the secret. We didn't have any like gigantic like brand new things come out. But what do I mean by brand new? Well, we had a lot of games come out from the OSR crisis, which I think, of course, let me bring out, of course, our first award. Say hello to the Golden TSR, of course, our first major award. The Golden TSR is there for the game that is trying to fight and claw and piss and shit and go out to try to become the next Dungeons and Dragons. Doesn't everyone want to be the next Dungeons and Dragons, right, everyone? Yeah, we all want to be the next Dungeons and Dragons. There isn't, I don't think, a real easy way of understanding what is the next dragon game. Did they ever finish releasing the Giant Lands SRD? Let's see. No. There is a AI generated book. Yeah, no, there's nothing. Oh geez. Oh geez. Oh no. Yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of games attempted to take the title this year. And I think it was because of the OSR crisis. The OSR, for those who don't remember, the OSR crisis from a few years ago was a series of problems. Okay, no, he's fine. No, he's okay. Stop monitoring. You don't need to monitor him. He's okay. Uh, I think one of the big things is that we had a few games come out this year, and those few games came out this year. They were all a little bit interesting. Of course, we've got some classic ones we did do a video on. Of course, right, everyone. Of course, how can we forget? Uh, let's find. Let me see if I can't find my exact thing for it. You can see I planned ahead a lot for this. I planned perfectly for this entire thing. Um so let's there we go. So the OGL crisis came out a few years ago and things went horribly wrong. But now we have so many different games claiming that title, claiming that I'm going to be the next D&D. So let's go over a handful, right? Let's go over to a handful. Tales of the Valiant. No. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. What were you expecting? It's just that. It's nothing more than that. If you like it, go for it. Shine on. We've got Pathfinder 2e. No. No, not at all. Why would I ever, no, that's a terrible idea. Why would you do that for yourself? Boring. It's the problem is that it is simple. All right, it's okay. Maybe it's not great. We've got that one. We've got the MCDM RPG. You know, the MCDM RPG, or as we like to call it, Raw Steel, which attempted to be more 4E. We have Daggerheart coming out, which Daggerheart really happens, and then Matt Mercer and company decided to not use Daggerheart for their next campaign, and then we all laughed a lot. And of course, how can we forget such other games like Let Me Draw Steel, Daggerheart. Oh yeah, DC-20. Remember DC-20? Yeah, that game exists. We've got Cosmere. What? Wait, they didn't even run games of Daggerheart? No. They're running the new Critical Role campaign is 5e again. Let's see. We had DC-20 come out. We had Tales of the Vagabond. Tales of the Vagabond, I believe, Vagabonds, something like that. That had some interesting ideas in it. We had DC-20, obviously. We had Cosmere come out, that with Brando Sando, of course. We had expecting Rift. You can't expect Rift for everything. Come on, guys. You think so little of me, even though I would totally do that and and be that guy. I'm not that bad. Let's see. We had Nimble. Don't forget about Nimble. Nimble happens. And of course, Shadow of the Weird Wizard. So what game do I personally think earns the right as the best D&D game we went over this year? That's a weird question to say. What's the best D&D game? Well, everyone, let me do this right. Let drum roll. All right, everyone. So, God damn it. God damn it. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That's all I'm asking for. So, everyone, let's give a big drum roll, please. Periton. Periton. What the fuck are you talking about, Notepad? Periton? What is this? What's periton? Well, very simply, Periton is. Oh, hey, it's Periton. Oh, hey, this game. Periton. Why Periton of all things? Why do I believe that Periton deserves that crown? Why do I think that? I believe it deserves this award for two reasons. It's clearly doing its own thing, and it embraces it. It also 2010. Yes, no, 2010. Again, big thing I should also note: anyone can win an award. Anyone can win an award as long as I went over it this year. That's all that matters. As long as I went over it. Boom. I should actually do the rules of how this works, but fuck it, we're already this deep. Why do I? The other reason is it has some interesting systems like knacks and things like that. It's easy to run. It's simple to run. It is effectively 3.5 OSR. It's just very cut down, very easy to work with. All of the others had something about it that I didn't care for. DC 20 isn't finished, obviously. Tales of the Vagabond wasn't finished, obviously. You had games like Draw Steel, which is really heavy on that 4E stuff. I like ideas from Draw Steel, but I'm like, is this my elf game? Ever wonder that? Is this my elf game that I want to play? Do I want to play a 4E hack? Not really. That didn't really excite my mind as much. After that, you ended up with other games like DC 20 and Shadow of the Weird Wizard would be the silver winner, if that makes sense. We're not doing silvers this year. I would say Shadow of the Weird Wizard would definitely be our silver winner. And our silver winner there is because it too is doing its own thing. I didn't like Shadow of the Weird Wizard as much as I did Shadow of the Demon Lord, though. I think Demon Lord is a lot more eloquent, if that makes sense, with some of its mechanics, as well as having a lot more thematic bite to it. That, and we also went over the one with the really scuffed artwork, and it looked kind of weird. But yeah, Periton. I like Periton. I think Periton deserves a lot more credit for what it does. We are stealing the knack system. Not even gonna lie, we are just stealing the knack system. It's ours now. If someone tries to fight us on that, I'll kill them. Our next winner is Expedition 33. Yes, of course. So, good job. Congratulations, Periton. You are now an award-winning game. You can slap that on the cover there. Yeah, exactly. It's got all the race options behind like a completely different book. It's a really weird game. Periton, everything you want is right there. Everything you possibly want is right there, and I can very much respect that. Speaking about Holy Lands, speaking about other things such as that, say hello to the Jesus Christ Superstar Award. Because to say that we, imagine they do slap it on the cover. Damn straight, that's what I expected. Every single thing there. Now, Jesus Christ Superstar Award. We went over Christian games this year. What do I mean by that? We went over some games that were let's focus on the good book. You know what? The good book keeps us all around, keeps us all happy, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes Christian RPGs can be really interesting. Of course, we know went over games like Shin Megami Tensei. Of course, that was there. We went over games such as Grand Mechanissimo. Of course, we went over a lot of different games there. But I really only think two were fighting for that crown. I think that's the bet. The winner is going to be FAP. No, we can't just make everything Bible Man or FAP. So, what was the best Christian role playing game that we went over this year? Now, an important thing to note is that if something wins an award, it cannot win a subsequent award. And I think the big one for this year, which really got me thinking and really made me appreciate some things. And the winner of the Jesus Christ is in Heaven the Jesus Christ Superstar Award this year, of course, goes to the only organization that was tried for heresy and then immediately executed and is currently being investigated for some regards for worshiping demons. Heirs to Heresy, Fall of the Knights Templar by Alan Barr. What is this game? This is an Osprey game from 2021 where you take the role of the Knights Templar. As members of the Knights Templar, your organization is currently being tried and being found guilty of the crime of heresy. Is this true? Is it not? It doesn't matter. You are now being hunted. The actual company is being accused of heresy? No, heirs to heresy, the Knights Templar. You're playing the Knights Templar. The thing with Knights Templar is that it is put together really well. There's a lot of things about this game that were put together nicely, it works really smoothly, and generally speaking, the pitch is something that you can't really get at, other places. It is a game about survival. It's a learning about that attrition, understanding that if you might not make it, things might go wrong. And even spending a little bit of downtime means that the enemy, the people who want to kill you, are getting closer and closer. But it doesn't really mean that the game itself is too difficult to understand, especially with the struggle between the righteousness of your faithful cause, Henry of Gaslitz, as well as your needs for survival. The expansions do add a lot more to this game. But overall, the base book does have everything you kind of need in it to find it enjoyable. To tell a very specific story with a very specific game. The other runner, the silver winner of this award, I should say, really the only other major one that we went over this year regarding this was, let me find, where are you? God damn it. There we go. Was Holy Lands. And if I were to, where's the, you don't get the award. Heirs to Heresy, the closest we have come to tabletop version of Kingdom Come Deliverance. No, there's closer games. Holy Lands wins that very solid silver award, and I was kind of going back and forth, really a lot on these two because both do their job really well. I think Holy Lands loses just a little bit because it is a little clunkier. It's a little little stranger by Matt Nigro. And because it is worded in such a way and it's a little bit clunky around the edges, Holy Land is lost out, but it's still an interesting game. If you are curious about it, do check it out. It is interesting. It is free, technically. It's a little bit odd on that front, but it's there and it's interesting. I would like to go over the 4th edition. We physically cannot go over 3rd edition because it does not exist anymore. So, yeah, if you're curious, please check out Holy Lands. It's a very interesting game, but also good job, Heirs to Heresy. for winning today. Good job. So, speaking about a very certain thing, we have the Golden Osprey. We probably our biggest showcase stream this year, and in turn, series of videos was oh god, I'm our biggest showcase series was the Osprey case, which is to say, we went over so many different little Osprey games. Osprey, of course, is the publisher of war games, tabletop role playing games, and of course, quite a few different just strange games. But going over all of these different things always has us thinking about what's the best way of approaching them. What's the who wins? What is the best way of looking at these? Of the games we went over, looks like a very uncomfortably placed bird. Yeah, no, I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that it looked as uncomfortable as physically possible. Where is it? Where are you? Where's the Osprey case? Where's the Osprey case? Read. There we go. There's the Osprey case. Now, oh no, go away. No, Google. I don't need it. Go away. Go Google. Okay, fuck it. Now, of the games we went over some stinkers, as well as we went over some real gems. But because of the Expedition 33 rule, of course, Heresy can't win, which also came from Osprey. But that really did make me think about what game I really loved from Osprey, one that I really wished more people would look at, and maybe it can even get one or two more sales out of this, or maybe something else. And that really inspired me, because overall, most Ospreys are lacking in some way. We went over stinkers, but I think probably the best one of the most interesting one that made me say, hey, this is interesting, that I want to engage with more than anything. It's Grande Meccanissimo, written by Mark Galetti. Or Galliotti, or Gallietti. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Grande Meccanissimo is a game about clock punk Italy, but it's really more than that. I think the word clock punk does the Neo Nostra, I bet. Clock punk. I think the clock punk wording on there really betrays what this game is actually about. Because what this game is actually about is, what if we gave Leonardo da Vinci infinite money to do whatever he wants? What if we gave Leonardo da Vinci as much money as he could physically want to do whatever he wanted? And what that is, yeah, it's Da Vinci Core. What if we make an entire setting based off of that? But what it did was something interesting with its writing. I mean, I think that's the big thing. Is that it sold the era. That is the most important thing. It sold the era, and it never let it get too cogfop or anything similar to that. Every aspect of the setting, of the writing, of everything was built around one core thing. What if this happened? And rather than it trying to go off into some wacky thing that doesn't make sense, it went to logical conclusions. It played around with some of the wordings of things. And if there's Italopop, why isn't there Italopunk? And it really emphasized just, hey, what happens in this world? What happens here? System is kind of a take it or leave it. Some people might really love it because it's very bare bones, very easy to understand. On the other hand, being a pasta punk, yeah, there sure is a game. It's very light on mechanics, but overall, if it's very light on mechanics, that also means that it's probably going to be heavier on some other things. And I think those other parts of the game really sell it. It's light, but not impossible. Easy enough to understand. Granted, one John putting in no more time, effort than or enthusiasm that is absolutely not necessary. That's the system in a nutshell. I still enjoy it. Pasta punk, yes, it is pasta punk. That is, I think, the best way to think about it, and I think it sells it. I think it sells it really well. So yes, it wins that award very handily. So there we go. All right, let's get let me get my next award out. So welcome to the You Tried Award. What's the You Tried Award? Well, You Tried is my backhanded compliment award. The you did your best. Not good, but you did your best with it. That's really all we can ask for sometimes. You tried. Poorly, but you tried. God damn it. Now, out of really all of the games we went over this year, there were a couple games that were rough around the edges. Bad, even. Terrible, if you will. But when it comes to games that are good or bad or any other things like that, usually the thing we have to understand is why things went bad. Why is it not great? Sometimes with these, it's the game is flawed at a fundamental level, just doesn't work really well. Sometimes it's committing to a bit that is maybe not good. But I think probably of all the games we went over, the You Tried Award is really about one thing. You tried to make something interesting. You attempted something. And sometimes that's more important than anything. You tried. You went out of your way to say, I'm going to make something interesting. Whether you succeed or fail, entirely up to you. And you tried Star My Goat. I think really the only game that really deserves that kind of like you did it. Good job. You let's find it. It was where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where is it? All right. So, this is the best way to think about it is a game. I like that you tried because you attempted something. Not because of anything else, but you did attempt something. I think the only game that really did that for me this year, that really said, like, I'm interested in what this was doing, was Toon Punk. Why of Toon Punk of all things? Now, the thing is this. Toon Punk is a game that not a single other human being would ever attempt. This is not some like overly reliable like we're just making my very own D&D. Oh man, I'm going to make my own like I'm going to make like a generic fantasy setting again. I'm going to do something that we can try to be this. Toon Punk made me think thoughts because of how bizarre it is. Because it is strange, because it is different, because it did do something that Okay, it's not good in any remote capacity or even ever. Like multiple levels of things went wrong here is interesting. But it's an interesting thing to say it's doing its own thing. This isn't a like a franchise game. This isn't something that's kind of reliable or has some backing. This is a dude making a game where he put his rabbit OC that he wants to have sex with on the cover. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm in. Shine on, Crazy Diamond. I may insult your game, but you're the only one who's an award winner for me. Uh, One day we will make our own Toon game. Today, though, is not that day. So, whoop. This ain't your mom's D&D. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, what even is that? Oh, Jesus. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Notepad Tomb game. Yeah, all right. So, our next award is a let's just say a classic game. Uh, Welcome to the DiCaprio. What is the DiCaprio award, you may be wondering? The You Tried award is like, you tried something and didn't do well on it. You fumbled the bag, but you fumbled the bag in an interesting way. Uh, the DiCaprio is, I want to give you an award because you didn't quite qualify for many other things. You did not inspire my confidence in other aspects. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a good thing. That's a, you did something interesting and I like it. Generally speaking, I really wish I could give the DiCaprio award to a bunch of games this year because we did go over a lot of interesting games. And a lot of interesting games can be fun. They can be interesting. They can inspire us to do something. But we can only give it to one person. And really, I was kind of struggling really hard. We got a lot of good games this year. A lot of bad games, too. A lot of really bad games. Let's not kid ourselves here. We had to deal with the Warrior Cats RPG this year. Fucking Warrior Cats RPG, man. But I really think that this very firmly goes to Black Void. Black Void. I I like Black Void. Everything about this game I like. It is a weird, interesting setting that isn't straight horror. It isn't it's an alien world with some alien ideas. Combat is meaty enough. There is good ideas of how to use magic, otherwise known as magic isn't really a thing, but blood sacrifice and shit is. Very interesting world, very interesting setting. Good solid fundamental gameplay. Good fashioned D12 system. Everything about this game is great. It's just never number one. There's always something with this game that is going back and forth on itself. Good, bad, not really what we're thinking of here. All that it is there. And it's so alien, it's so strange, it's so bizarre that sometimes things can get a little bit wonky, especially when you get into things like character creation. And if you get into like things like character creation, it's a lot of like, okay, points here, points there. They give you a lot of options, and you won't really learn to appreciate the game until you really play it, and really get into it, and you're learning about how everything works. So your first character may not even be good. So right here, a lot of little bonuses. It's a solid 8.5 out of 10. But I want to give it an award. Why? Because it does do something different. Because it is interesting. Because it is a one of a kind game. And I think that's important. I think that's essential to games. If I were to giving a silver award for giving a silver DiCaprio is never a really good sign, but we're not giving silver DiCaprios this year. Uh, really, when it comes down to that, probably a combination of like Crime Fighter. Crime Fighter was high up there. Let's just say that. I like Crime Fighter. I think the game is really interesting. It is a denser game that wargamey aspect really kind of brings down. We've debated on redoing things. We've debated on remaking it. Another one that was a close, close uh game up there was where was it? Scrapped Princess. I like everything about the Scrapped Princess RPG. I like it. It's just not as good as Sword World. In a world where Sword World exists, Scrapped Princess doesn't really have a place. And if you want to play a Scrapped Princess TRPG, you might it's going to be a lot of work to get it to do exactly what you might want it to do because it's just that thin. Again, harass Awkward on the Sword World Discord if you maybe want to look the if you really want a simplified variant of Sword World, it's not a bad choice. I like a lot of the aspects of it, of just the idea that you have to more of a deeper emphasis on talking things out, more about like trying to make things work better. I liked it a lot. It was a very solid one. Probably the other one was Dark Eye. Dark Eye didn't make it just because it kind of fall it how do I want to word it? If there's ever a way to word Dark Eye, it would be German. Good, bad, doesn't matter. German. Uh, probably the only other one that really came close. Like, really came close. I bought it in NYC. Like, exactly. It's very verbose. It's very interesting. Probably the other one was Them. That is the wrong title card. Someone get me out from here. Was Worm. I literally liked Worm. I think it's a really good game. Uh, keep it. uh, Worm was real solid, and I liked it a lot. I think the biggest issue with them really boils down to its pitch is very thick. If you're not into that pitch as much, it's going to be harder sell. But Emmanuel Rudier, I believe, Emmanuel Rudier, the guy loves this setting. He loves this world. And he loves it more than you or me ever will. And if you ask him, what is this? He will tell you it. This is this guy's love child. But, game good? Not my thing. Well, would it be worth having a community vote? I've debated on community votes. I've never really done it for a few reasons. Uh, really, the only other game that would really kind of fall into this would be the SMT RPG. I'm not a huge fan of it because I already played it. So I've already played SMT Nocturne, so I don't want to play a tabletop version of the game. So I think we all know what time it is though. Before the Noteys, before our golden Notey, the ultimate award worth having. Welcome to the shit pit, everyone. The shit pit sucks. Bad games. Bad things. What is the worst of the worst? Dog shit games. Horrible things. We went over some real stinkers this year. Real horrible stinkers. We've got things like Crescendo of Violence in its weird setting, but not bad. System is fine. Ideas are good. There, why is it not what we want? Okay, well, What about A-State? A-State was terrible. So A-State has to lose, right? Well, no. A-State was at least just weird. Oh, RuneScape? Oh, well, I don't think. No, RuneScape? No. That was a product. I can't really hate it as much. It was someone phoning it in. I think there was one thing that made me feel hate this year. It really made me feel nothing on the inside. Something that hurt my soul a little bit. Something that made me sad. So that we're going to the solid jet. Worse than A-State. Yes, worse than A-State. And what is that game? Can we make a guess what it could be? We've got some Dagger Hearts, we've got RuneScapes. What can it possibly be? Well, I'll give you a secret. All of it. All of you. All of you OSR babies. Every single one of you OSR babies. All of you. DC 20, Daggerheart, fucking Draw Steel. I poo on you. All of you. Come on, people. Come on. Think about what we could have done. You had the opportunity to make whatever you wanted. Anything you wanted this year. Any of you OGL Crisis babies. You had the chance to make anything you wanted. And you know what you made? You made D&D again. D&D made itself again. That's all you did. You had the chance to make anything you wanted, and you chose to make Dungeons and Dragons again. Like, it's truly fascinating. It's truly amazing. So I think all of you deserve that. Every single one of you. Because I think at the end of the day, that's what I'm most annoyed about. That's what I dislike. Is that you could do anything here. You could have made anything you wanted. Daggerheart, you could have done anything with that. You could have made anything. And you chose to make D&D but worse. You chose to fight the dragon, and you still decided to remake it. Nothing ever happens. 50 million years of D&D 5th edition. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. All of you. You could make anything and you didn't. None of you. And now I'm going to get harassed constantly to make videos based on these. And it's going to become it. You chose to fight the dragon and instead decided to become it. You are... I feel nothing but sadness. You hurt my heart. My heart. You don't deserve it. You can do anything, and you chose to do nothing. So, angry now. I'm mad. We could have done so much, but I think you know what it is. All right, let me. Give me 1 second. All right. Welcome to the only award that ever matters. The only award that you want. The only thing that you and me or anyone else could ever possibly want. The Golden Notey. The last great role-playing award. Now I can hand it out to anyone I want. No one can judge me for it. You want to know why? Because I'm me. I can make anything I want have happen. And you know what? I believe that good games or hard to come by. I believe games should be celebrated. Whether you came out last year, whether you came out 30 years ago, it doesn't matter. All that matters truly that you tried. That you tried to make something interesting, you tried to make something to excite the mind, that you did something that makes me feel something in my cold, dead heart. And I believe, yeah, let me make sure everything's working here. There's only one game that makes me that really assures myself of this. And, let me open it. Let me open this up real fast. And that game is, of course. All right, let's where's my drum roll? Drum roll. My drum roll. Damn drum roll. God damn it. There we go. No. No, not you. Predator. No, not Manly. Oh yeah, here's also here's Manly in his Gucci suit, of course. So, the Golden Notey. Expedition 33, everyone! Yay! Well, no, of course it's not Expedition 33. God, can't be Expedition 33. We actually have taste here, thank you very much. We have taste here. So let's let's get who the real winner of this year is. Who's the real winner? Who do we actually care about? I can find the thing I need. Why are you all? I think the real winner, the game that really made me think thoughts, was Orbis Erden. Yes, Orbis Erden. Look at as soon as Tesco. Welcome to a game that made me think. Nailed it. Welcome to a game that made me think, that made me wonder, that made me curious, that made me want to experiment more. I think it earns it. I think it really deserves that honor of being interesting. And I think that's the real important thing. What is something that makes me interested in it, in a game? Because there's plenty of games out there that are weird. There's plenty of games that, might be odd. Now we get to play a game of where I go back to the previous version of the Noteys. I'm pretty sure I didn't give this thing an award. Let's see. No, 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 no. Good. Yeah, we didn't hand this award out to someone else already. So, but yes, the big thing with Orbis Erden is that it presented itself as a vampire game, but it immediately says, no, we aren't a normal vampire game. We're Legacy of Kain. We are a world of monsters, of myth, of horrible things going on, as well as because it somehow manages to have sandbox rules that mesh with the accursed politicking and random encounters. Exactly. Orbis Erden manages to kind of do everything you want from a game like this, as well as making, how do I want to word, as well as making the game actually work for how deep and how large it is. It really shouldn't be as big as it is. It really shouldn't be as well written as it is. But somehow it is. and the fact that it's a kind of a one of a kind game, a game that somehow it's a TR, yeah, it is a vampire role playing game set in an alien world that really makes you feel like you're a part of it, trying to be a part of it, trying to embrace it, even down to the fact that the masquerade is real and wants to kill you. Let's not forget that fact about it. Never forget that. Or even down to things of just getting your arms ripped off horribly. Because guess what? Reject influence, embrace killing people. I love killing people for fun. But you can make characters in a variety of ways and still feel useful. That's, I think, is a goal that people don't really think about. It's a game that's brutal. It's a game that's mean. It's a game that really makes you invested in what it is. And I like that. I think that's kind of a one of a kind things. So, let's see. Runner up this year. If I were to give anything the runner up, our silver award, if we were handing out silvers, probably if I were to hand out a silver award this year, handing out to anybody, probably would go to something like nothing actually. No. Nothing really. No, none of these games really. We went over a lot of games, but a lot of games turned out to be kind of middling. Didn't excite the mind. Fatal 3, yes, of course, Fatal 3. The only game worth playing. But silver place, nothing. Yes. So, welcome to the Noteys. Hopefully everyone had a good time. We got our the golden Notey has been awarded. Fuck it. Orbit aired it again. Nothing. You all lose. uh Generally speaking, this year was a little rough. A little rough around the edges. But we made it through. We learned a lot. We pushed through. And because we pushed through, we're here today. And we're going to make it. So, everyone, thank you. I know it's been a bit of a shorter stream today, but didn't want to keep things too long. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I really hope that next year is going to be even better for all of us. More content to come. Videos will resume scheduling this probably January. I have a plan for our 1, 2, 3s. I most likely will end up doing Warhammer 1, 2. I'll probably end up doing the Warhammer videos. Probably not all together, but probably in conjunction with something else. Videos will be produced until morale improves. Of course, we're going to be they deserve the You Tried Award at most. 2026 will be year. Yeah, 2026 will be the year of the Fade. 2026 is going to be year of Notepad, and we are going to make sure we can do more. Thank you. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bazinga!